Hello, everyone, and welcome to BFW 2401. This is an introductory video for the BFW 2401 Semester 1, 2023. So the way I planned this recording is I will talk first about the unit overview. Then we will touch about the unit, a little bit about the unit schedule. We'll talk also about the teaching team. And most important thing for most of you is actually the learning objectives. So we will talk about the learning objectives of this unit and how we are going to achieve it. And the core actually of this recording is the assessment, which is actually most interest for me and for you. So we will talk about the assessment structure and how we are going to deal with it and what is the expectations. Then we will talk about a minor issue actually, which is the resources. I keep uploading and updating the resources in this unit. And there are a lot of resources now, either links, websites, link to the book, shared document, and other resources that will be used in the future. And I will keep updating it. And then maybe a minor issue, which is I will conclude this video with, which is the some international students ask me about how they can access the attendance code. So I will show them how to access that in weekly basis, where I will upload it beginning of the week. Now let me just share my screen, I think, and the best way is to go through the unit resources. This is the information we will actually use is the website, the model site. So this is actually the overview of the unit. As you can see, this is a video, and this video I'm recording will replace this one, which is for Monash. And this is the unit synopsis, which is actually introduction about the unit. But the most important thing is this learning objectives, which is coming here. Now, the learning objectives, as you can see here, there are 7 learning objectives. There are 7 learning objectives. But to summarize them for you, see, we are in this unit dealing with 4 issues, and we are trying to achieve 4 main learning outcome. First, we want to study the banking model. So this is the 7, but I will summarize them to 4. We want to understand the first objective. We want to understand the banking model, which means we cover it in week 1, which means how this intermediation and financial intermediation work. Now, within that, we will talk also about the financial institution specialness and why those financial institutions are special. As you can see, we are covering it in week 1 and the tutorial of week 2. Now, after we finish that, this is for week 1. Now, week 2 materials, week 3, week 5, week 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which is 9 weeks now, are talking about the bank risk. So we'll talk about around 10 risks. In each risk, we will define the risk, we will measure it, and we will manage it. What does it mean? For example, if we talk about credit risk, we define it as the defaulting, which means non-payments from our customers or our borrowers. Now, when we know how much is that in terms of non-payments from credit cards, non-payments from loans, non-payments from our investment in bonds, all those, we call it credit risk. We know that is the source of credit risk, but we want to see how much is it going to be next year. This is where we go to the modeling. We call this thing measurement. So the measurement in this issue is how much is that risk? And we have a lot of modeling about it. Now, when we know how much is it, then we have to decide if it is material, and most of the time it's very material, which means it will affect our performance. Then we will have to see how can we manage it. Are we going to manage it through financial institution, through what we call financial derivatives? Are we going to use any other risk management? So all these issues, now I just talked about credit risk. You can talk about anything else, liquidity risk, market risk, country risk, all those issues, we can talk about it, but this is the way to approach it. Now, to recap, first learning objective is the spatialness. Second learning objective is the risk matrix, which cover all those risks. Third learning objective, which is bank performance, which we will cover it specifically in week 4. And in week 12, we will cover the regulations. So in week 1, spatialness, week 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is the risk, 12 is the regulation, and only week 4 is the performance. Now, this is how it works. Now, let me go over these, the people who are going to help you. This is me, and I have introduced myself in the workshop. This is also Mr. Siva Kumar. Both of us were bankers before. I, in this university, have been a long time. I have taught so many units in the undergrad level and in the graduate level. I was a banker for a long time. Also, I was a businessman. I work in business. So I think I am experienced to help you in this unit. Mr. Siva Kumar I'm really happy that he is joining us for the first time in this unit. He is a very experienced person. He was a banker here in Malaysia, worked for Bank Agricole for a long time, and he worked in so many departments. So he is also an added value actually to the unit. Now, this is our consultations, and this is our links if we are going to do the consultations online. And by the way, use emails also to have person-to-person consultations, communicate in problems, questions. We respond to emails very fast, and we share the emails together. Now, let me go to the next issue, which is the class timetable. Maybe some of you would wonder what the class timetable is. See, this is a timetable. And let me explain it. So this is our actually timetable, which is the actually the classes and their places. But I want actually to talk about the unit schedule. So this is the unit schedule. As you can see, this is the 12 weeks. And this is, for example, week 1. In week 1, I will show you, for example, we cover here the spatialness. Then these materials of week 1, I will test you in class quiz 1, not in the same week, but in week 4 when we have class quiz 1, test 1. And then this material also will be reflected in the final exam. Just let me pause here for a while. Look, the way we do it here, for example, I take week 1 and week 2, and I test you in quiz 1, which comes in week 4. Then we will take week 3, 4, and 5, and I will test you in the week, in the test 2, which means you are not responsible about week 1 and week 2. And in the next test, you are only responsible about 3 chapters. Then in test 3, I will test you on week 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you are not also responsible about the weeks before. And we continue like this until we reach to testing 9, 10, and 11. We will test you in week 12. and not testing you on all the weeks before. So test 4 will only cover 3 weeks, which is the last 3 weeks. Now, why I'm doing this, it's very useful. And this is from my experience and from the feedback of the students. It's very useful because when you reach the final exam, you already know everything. You already updated and tested and knew the materials. It's just some revisions, which we will have an extensive revision about it, and then you can go to the final exam. Let me, since we are talking about the assessment, let me talk about the assessment here. So this is the assessment, as you can see. This is the 4 tests, which are coming from week 4 until we reach to week 12. And this is what we call it the pre-class activities, 10 marks. This is 30 marks. This is 10 marks, 40 marks. And then we have the final 60 marks. Most of the students for the 40 marks, they score very well, and they also score well in the final exam. And in the final exam, I will give you a revision. It will be an extensive revision, and you will know what's there, but actually it's not much different from the internal work we have done. Now, for example, here, if you look at test 1, which is casual ed here, in each test, I will give you a video, an explanatory video, just talking about all the materials. You will have the recorded materials for the weeks that will be tested. You will have also the tutorials, and you will have all tests, 2 all tests, where you can look at them, and they will actually explained and solved. So with all this preparation, I don't think anybody will have problems with the internal work. For the pre-class activity, for example, I uploaded for the pre-class activity today. See, this is the pre-class activity of today, which I already uploaded. You can see this is an explanatory video. This is the videos that you will log. And there is an exam, a test, a small test. Actually, it's not a test. It's an essay where you will bring your critical output for the for this activity. Now, as we progress, there will be many questions about that. But I don't think, if you have any question, you can send me an email and I explain it, or ask me in the tutorial, or ask Mr. Siva Koma. But I don't think there will be a big problem about it. Let me tell you about the resources here. Now, the study resources, as you can see, I collected huge resources. So we have these resources. We have links to the Bank Nigara. We have links to EBRA Australia, which is the regulator in Australia. We have link to the KPMG. We have links to the Asian Institute of Chartered Bankers. We have link for everything here. And when we have some material, some exercises, I will update those links and update those resources, and also direct you toward it. We have here also, which I upload, a shared document where we can have questions in the shared documents, but I want you also to be active in that. Now, let me finalize this. Even the book is actually here, the recommended book, but there is a link here for it, and you can access it. And I will also talk, this book was sold for 300 ringgit, but I have an agreement, and I talked to the publisher to sell it for $85 online. Now you can get it from your seniors. Some of the people may not use the book or may not need it, but it's a good book. But if you need the book, then let's talk to the publisher. He can give you this soft copy. Now, let me just talk about for the international students. This is the where they can find the code, and the code is actually here. The attendance codes. So every week there will be a link like this. This is for example week 1. We will have week 2, week 3, week 4. And then when you click it, you will go to this page where you will have all the codes for all the tutorials. And if there is a forum, that code will be there. Now, let me, I think that's all about it. We will do, I don't think you will have a problem with the internal or the final of this final exam of this unit, as long as actually you are more disciplined and also can use your time efficiently. Now, my experience is saying all students will have just, you know, something like that. We used to have 20 and 25% failing. This time we have only 5%, and these 5% sometimes come to less than that, and usually they will have supplementary tests, exams, and they will pass. But that doesn't mean nobody will fail. If you are not disciplined, if you are not following the directions here, which I think my own way to guide you, you can use your own way of studying and managing your time. But if you follow at least my, part of my suggestions or your seniors, you can do very well in this unit. I want to thank you very much. And if there is any questions, email me or talk to me to the tutorial or to Mr. Siva. Have a good day ahead, and thank you so much. Goodbye.